Hey y'all, ETS Thermal Hunter coming at y'all today to talk about another scope I've had the pleasure of doing some hunting with, as well as some testing in the field. So I'm ready to kind of do the review on it. Really didn't want to give this scope back. This scope was probably going to be up there on the top of my favorites. We'll get into that here in a little bit, but today we're going to be talking about the InfiiRay USA Bolt TH50C. It's the version 2 of the Bolt, so it's the new version that just came out. We'll get into the specs in just a second. But first, I want to give you a quick walk around of the scope. So it's got a form factor very similar to a traditional rifle scope. It's got your power button right here. You can change your color palettes. You can change your contrast, your highlight mode. You can also take images and start and stop your video recording with this button. A long press on the power button will put it in standby mode, but we'll talk more about that in the specs. On this side right here, it's a removable turret cap. This allows you to put an 8500 or an 8650 battery in it, and additionally to the battery system that's already on the scope. We'll get into that in the battery system talk. And then on this side of the cap, you can take this turret off as well. And this is where your USB-C power port is. You can use it to charge the scope, the internal batteries, as well as move your images and your videos from your scope to a computer. So nice little, really good heavyweight turret caps on there. This top is your menu. It's got really good tactical response as you twist it. You can tell you're moving through the menu. This allows you, this is what zooms in the scope, as well as a long press will open the menu, and then you can navigate through the menu with this turret as well. It's a 30 millimeter tube, so you can put any 30 millimeter scope rings on this scope. It comes with included 30 millimeter rings. You'll get those as well. I'm currently running the American Defense QD Recon mount. I run these on all my scopes, so I really like this scope. I take them off and put it back on different guns quite a bit, so having the ability to take it off, put it back on, and still hold zero, that's what I like about the American Defense. Let's see what else it's got. So that's kind of the walk around. I'll kind of give you up close walk around. Very big screen, LED screen in here. Really good display. Like I said, 50 millimeter. So there's your walk around. Here's the bottom of the scope. There's your top of the scope. So I'm gonna put this down. We're gonna go ahead and jump into the specs real quick, and then we'll talk about what I like about it and some of the things that I didn't like as much and who I think this would really be good for. So I'm gonna review some of my notes and we'll kind of go through the specs. So first of all, I always forget to do this. Let's talk about price. So this scope is $5,499. So right at the $5,500 mark for price. It comes with the traditional InfiiRay USA 5-year warranty, which is the longest in the industry right now on warranties. So really good long warranty with this scope. It's a 640 by 512 resolution, 12 micron, 50 hertz refresh rate. It uses the Micro 2 InfiiRay sensor, a really good thermal sensor. Does really well in all conditions. It's got an NETD value less than 25 millikelvins. And it's got a 50 millimeter objective lens. We covered that in the walk around just a second ago. It's got a 3.5 base magnification. So that means that base magnification, it's got a 3.5 magnification. So pretty, more on the high end or higher end of magnification. It's got a 4x digital zoom. So it goes from 3.5 at your base up to 14 all the way zoomed in. It's got a field of view about 46.2 feet at 100 yards. So fairly wide field of view for being a 3.5 power magnification, base magnification. It's got built-in video and audio recording. And it's got an internal 32 gigs of internal storage. So lots of room to store videos and images of your hunt and anything else you record while you're out in the field. It's got built-in Bluetooth and built-in Wi-Fi. And it connects to the InfiiRay Outdoor mobile app. So you can sync it to that once you connect your phone to it or your tablet to it. You can connect it to the mobile app. You can use it as a viewfinder, change settings, download your videos you've captured and your images captured. Really nice app. It works really well. It's a plus of using the InfiiRay scopes. Color palettes, pretty standard on InfiiRay USA. You get your black hot, your white hot, red hot, and then you get a color mode. It's kind of like a purpley yellowish color hue. And then you get a highlight mode. All of them look really good. Power, it's powered, like I said earlier, it's got a USB-C port, so you can power, and it's a data transfer, so you can move your files back and forth. The battery system is pretty unique on this one. I really like it. It's got 2 internal rechargeable batteries that are not removable. On a full charge, you'll get about 8 hours, 8+ hours, and then you can extend that with adding in that turret cap I showed you where you can put a battery in the walk around, you can add an 18500 or an 18650 battery to give you an extra 2 to 3.5 hours of run time. So really good run time on the scope on a set of batteries. Get more than 12 hours if you're using an extendable, an optional add-in battery, an external battery you can add in. Also, you can run this scope off of a power bank, just using the USB-C port. So it gives you some flexibility on running your scope, especially if you hunt for a really long time or you hunt several days in a row and you don't want to have to charge your scope between hunts. You get a lot of battery runtime on this scope. It's got picture-in-picture, one-shot zero, pretty much all the standard stuff. Standby mode, multiple profiles to sight in the rifle. So, all the standard high-end, that most thermal optics have nowadays, this scope has. It's a little bit heavier, it's a very stout, feels very high-end. Nothing feels flimsy on it. I mean, it's a very well-built optic. It comes in about 2 pounds with the mount. It's about 14.5 inches long, so it's a little bit longer. Like I said, it's more built like a traditional rifle scope. So, anything you'd put on your daytime, optics, your daytime glass for deer hunting or big game hunting, it's the same form factor. So it's going to be a longer scope. So not a very compact form factor. So again, just a note on that, not an optic that I think will work very well if you want to multitask as a monocular, to pop it off your rifle and put it back on and use it as a weapons mountable. Really, it's just going to be weapons mountable. It's just the form factor and the length and weight is not going to be real conducive to being able to use it as a monocular very easy. Every once in a while, if you just want to look at something, you can pop it off, but just you don't want to do that. I don't think that's something you will do very normally, because I don't think it's very convenient to hold as a monocular. It's not going to be comfortable to hold for a long time. Let's see, it's got built-in Bluetooth. That's kind of important because this version 2 allows the addition of InfiiRay's ILR 1200 LRF. It's a Bluetooth laser rangefinder that you can pair with this scope and use a laser rangefinder with this scope. So I know InfiiRay or InfiiRay USA is putting those out, and this scope will allow that to be used with it. And then the other thing they did in the version 2 is they added audio to your video recording. So now you get audio and video when you do recording. So you can hear your shot, hear conversations of the hunt. It's a nice addition when you're taking videos. So that's kind of a rundown of the specs. Kind of want to talk about some of the things that really stood out to me. I was really excited to kind of get my hands on one of these. I had it mounted on my 6.5 Grendel on a 16-inch barrel on an AR frame. And I really wanted to, something that Grendel has a little bit more reach out and touch than my 300 hammer that I've been using. And so I mounted this one on it because I was going to be going out to my West Texas lease to be able to hunt and wanted to be able to take longer shots on some larger hogs, things like that, coyotes that get hung up a little bit longer, a little bit far out range. Having a 3.5 base magnification, I normally hunt with 2.5 just for East Texas and all the areas I normally hunt. Having a 3.5 base magnification, generally it gives you a narrower field of view at 100 yards. And so I'll tell you what, it didn't seem to bother me very much. I really liked having the 3.5 power magnification, plus comboed with this optics image quality. I mean, it's got a really good image quality. Probably for the price point, being over the $5,000 and looking at all the optics, that go all the way up to $17,000. The Halos, the RS75s, the Pulsar Pro, LRF, XP50 RS, all those are excellent scopes. This one is right there in it. In fact, for $5,500, this may be the best optic image quality wise for the money. And I say that a lot on my videos because I think, that's one thing people want to know is it worth the money? This scope is absolutely worth every bit of $5,500. The image quality, it looks exceptional in pristine conditions. Cold, clear, low humid nights. This thing looks like, man, it's perfect. The test is when you hunt in bad areas or bad conditions, really high humidity, wet, rainy, real dewy. This scope performed exceptional. It was one of the things that stood out to me when I was hunting is some of my other optics that are 640 in wet and real humid conditions, they get washed out a little bit. Still really good image quality, just get a little bit washed out, not as sharp. This scope, I don't know, it's the sensor or the algorithms are using. This scope's image quality in nasty conditions, not primo conditions, was exceptional. In fact, on some rainy nights, I just end up using this instead of some of the monoculars that I use because the quality and the bad conditions was just made it really easy to hunt in. So That was a major thing that I liked and it stood out to me. The battery system too. I hunted with this quite a bit. I did not have to charge it very much. Having an extendable battery that you can add into the port right here, plus the 2 internal rechargeable batteries that give you already 8 to 10 hours of runtime, plus extending it, getting over 12 hours of runtime on one set of batteries, one charge. That's excellent, especially if you like to hunt for a long time at night or all night, or hunt tournaments and hunt for a couple days in a row. The scope gives you the flexibility with that runtime. Don't have to worry about bringing extra batteries or having to plug it in between hunts. Really, the battery was really great on it. The other thing I really liked, and it stood out the first time I looked through it, was the screen. I can't show you the menu option in this video, but when you look through this, the way that they've redone the menu and how big the screen is, normally you look to optics, you got to kind of fine tune it to get it, focused. The screen looks like you're looking at an IMAX screen. It is huge. It's the first thing I noticed when I mounted it and looked at it, went to sight it in. And that just carried over the whole time that I was hunting with it and testing with it. Is every time I got behind the scope and looked through it, I was just absolutely blown away about how good the screen was. How easy it was to see the menu items, your status bar, if you have Wi-Fi on, or what color mode, or what time. All of that, really easy to see. And then they display the battery kind of like on the side. Makes it really easy to keep track of, how much battery life you have. But honestly, that was probably the next best thing, other than just the image quality, the price, that I absolutely liked about it. It was the screen, and looking through that, the display is exceptional. It comboed with the clarity of the thermal sensor. It's really going to be hard to beat image quality for this price. Pretty much, I'd put it against pretty much any other scope at this price, and its image quality is going to be at the top of that list. Excuse me real quick, had to mute a call. The other thing I like is it's got a 5-year warranty. I mean, you hunt with these, you spend a lot of money on these things. You want them to last. You want to know if you have a problem, that you're gonna have a company that'll take care of them. InfiiRay's 5-year warranty, gives you a lot of confidence spending that kind of money, that you're going to be taken care of if your optic doesn't work or has a problem, or you get damaged and you need to get replaced or get it fixed. That gives you some insurance with that type of money. I think that's one of the things that also stands out. If I was looking at 2 scopes and they were the same price and they had the same image quality, and one had a 5-year warranty and one had a 3-year warranty, I really would be leaning towards the one that had the 5-year, just because it gives me 2 more years or 3 more years or 4 more years, whatever the other warranty is. It gives you more insurance on knowing that you're taken care of. That was, and I said this in the walkthrough, the feel of this scope, you do not feel like you have a cheap optic. This thing felt like it's built like a tank. It feels high quality. There's not a flimsy part on this scope. There's not something that feels like it's going to break. It's a solid, well-built scope. So I think that's another thing that stood out as a like for me. That kind of covers, some of my likes. Some of the things that I did notice that I, wasn't a huge fan of, I think that could be improved, is this tactical turret. It definitely gives you the feedback, and you can kind of hear it as you twist it. It gives you an audible click, as well as you can feel the clicks very good. The thing I noticed is, as you zoom in and you zoom out, or you're in the menu navigating around, if you move this really fast, it seems to kind of lag a little bit. It doesn't keep up exactly with the clicks. Now, if you're really precise and you're just making like normal clicks you would click to make a clicks on your elevation or windage on a daytime scope, and you're being very precise and clicking one at a time and kind of watching it, it tracks perfectly. Like I said, it's not a huge deal. It just, if you get in a rush and try to zoom in or zoom out real quick, or you're trying to go through your menu really fast, you'll notice that it kind of lags just a little bit. So that's one thing I noticed. And the other thing I noticed that I wasn't a huge fan of, could be improved, is when you have this thing connected to the mobile app. One thing I noticed is, if I was trying to pan, scan back and forth in the field, and I was using connected to my phone, whether as I was downloading a video or just using the viewfinder, the screen seemed a little bit more choppy than it does when it's not connected to the mobile app. Now, most people are not running the mobile app and trying to hunt at the same time and paying attention. More that's for letting your partner see what you're looking at, or downloading your videos or whatever. Whoever you have with you wants to see what's going on in the scope, they can. You want to move your content back and forth. That's mainly what I use the app for. So I did notice that it was a little laggy in the image quality when you scanned, if you were connected to the mobile app. Again, I don't think that's a big deal, because I don't think that's a main scenario that most people are doing while they're hunting. The other thing that I've kind of heard about is, you know, it is $5,500. That's a lot of money, but I'm telling you, what you're going to get with this scope for $5,500, I really don't think you can beat a scope for $5,500 that has the image quality of this scope. Now, there's some exceptional scopes on the market. I'm not going to bash anybody. I think there's a lot of really great scopes. I think this is right there at the top of that list. It'll stand its own against pretty much anything above the $5,000 mark. I would even say it would, you know, there's some scopes that are more expensive than $6,000, and I think it would hold its own with those as well. So if you're looking at, you know, something that's $10,000 or $15,000, I would definitely take a look at this scope as well, because I think you'll be, you know, very impressed with the image quality you get at that $5,500 mark. Last thing I kind of want to cover is who I really think this is going to be good for. To me, because of the image quality, because it's a 640, that 3.5 power, if you're a coyote hunter and you are shooting longer distances at coyotes or predators, this is going to be an excellent scope for you. Definitely gives you the ability to reach out there and touch. Definitely allows you to zoom in and be able to see and still maintain really good image quality. It's also, you know, hog hunters will use it. It's just when you hunt in more tight, you know, trees or down in the bottom, you know, bottomland where you don't have, you know, longer open areas, it's going to be a little harder to this 3.5 base magnification to track animals if they get really close to you. So just keep that in mind. I don't think this is, you know, precludes you from using it if you're a hog hunter, but I think you just need to be aware that 3.5 base magnification might not be ideal for you, but for the coyote hunter, the predator hunter, this scope is going to be exceptional for that. Again, I really appreciate y'all watching this video, but what I really wanted to convey with this is this scope is worth every penny of the $5,500. Its image quality is exceptional. Its warranty is great. The features it has, excellent. And then the ability to pair it with a laser rangefinder, a Bluetooth laser rangefinder, so you can extend the capabilities of this and add a laser rangefinder to it. That just makes it all the more better. So I think that you cannot go wrong with this scope. I think it's one of the best ones on the market. It's been an absolute pleasure for me to get to hunt with it and test with it. In fact, I really don't want to give it back, but unfortunately, it's got to be on to the next scope that I can do hunting with and testing with and get another review out here for you guys. So I do this for you guys. I do this for, you know, when I was looking to buy thermals, I wanted to know what I was getting into. I wanted to know what I was going to get with the money I spent. And so I don't get paid for this. This is just for science, per se. So you can see what it does and understand all the features, all the specs, what it looks like. Hopefully you've enjoyed the footage that have played along through this video of some of my hunts and some of the outdoor experiences I've captured with this scope. Really great optic. Can't say it enough. So if you're interested in knowing more about this, please, you can drop comments in my video. I'm also on Instagram at ETX Thermal Hunter. You can direct message me there. Check out my content there. Post a lot of smaller clips and images from hunts there. But you can also reach out to Outdoor Legacy Gear at outdoorlegacygear.com. You can call either Jason or Hans at 1-877-350-1818. They'll be glad to help answer any of your questions. You can help get you one ordered if you want one. You can also order on the website. But definitely, if you got any other questions, feel free to reach out. Most importantly though, thank you for watching this video. I hope you stick around and watch some more of my other videos. I've done a lot of good content on other optics. So if you're interested in anything else, see all the videos that I've done in the past. Really appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe to my channel. Also hit me up on Instagram, like me there, follow me there. You'll get to see a lot of good content and know when I'm about to put out new videos. So y'all stay safe in the field and God bless. Thanks.